We'd like to say good evening to everyone. Good. It's not evening yet, but good afternoon. That's what they're waiting on, evening to come, Gretchen. But on behalf of the Atlanta Business League, we'd like to welcome everybody here today. We hope that a lot of people will come today because of all of the seminars that we've had. Today's seminar is one of the most important seminars that we've had on the agenda in many, many years. You're going to be encouraged today. You're going to be inspired. You're going to be taught by some great people that we have on this panel. But we just love all of you all dearly for coming out and looking for a lot of other people to come out of the traffic to get here in a few minutes. But while you're sitting in the early part, if you need any more refreshments, we would like for you all to get them and eat in the early part of the session and not necessarily wait to the end. But today, to be welcome over here at this great institution, and we're always thankful to have a place to have seminars, and when you find good partners, places where you can meet at. Today, Ms. Deborah Johnson Blake, who is the conference coordinator over here, is going to come and make us all feel welcome. And we want to thank her for being with us this evening. Let's give her a round of applause, you all, as she comes. Ms. Deborah Johnson Blake.
Thank you. Just a couple notes here. On behalf of our president, Dr. Avada Thomas, and our VP of Economic Development, Harold Craig, we want to welcome you to our campus. We are excited to continue our partnership with ABL and be this month's hosts for the Business Enrichment Seminar Series. I know that today's topic will make a positive impact on all of our businesses and lives because providing and receiving good customer service is important to all of us. But in addition, some of you may have come in and taken some material off the tables right outside. I just want to tell you that we are about to undergo a new continuing education initiative that is scheduled next month. The program is entitled the Independent Contractors Professional Program. If you are familiar with the Women Employment Opportunity Program called WEOP and Atlanta Tech, we are collaborating to launch this program on September 9th. It's an 8-week course that both men and women are invited to, of course, and it will run on Thursdays from 6 to 8:30 on our campus. So the objective is to target the new worker or someone with skills that who's looking for experience to use them as an independent contractor, a freelancer, consultant, or entrepreneur. So if that's something that you're interested in or someone you know, please have them call WEOP directly at 404-681-2497 to learn more. And again, welcome to our campus, and we appreciate your continued support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You going to be able to stick around, Ms. Deborah? Very, very good. Stay as long as you can. I know you're going to be inspired, and we'll want to support your efforts as well. That's Mr. Nicholas Gowans in the back. He's the program coordinator for the Atlanta Business League. Y'all give him a hand for helping us out so much, all right? We got Becky and Jackie out front to make you welcome. But we have this outstanding education committee. Y'all just wave your hands. I know you felt very welcome with these outstanding people working with you. And if you have any other thoughts or ideas before you leave here today, share it with them, and we will try to do the best to put on other workshops for you that can be a help to all our businesses. Well, I'd like to bring on at this time a young lady who has been on the education committee for a few years now. And she's a professional educational committee person. And she has directed and led this workshop, been working on it for several months now, and has pulled up some outstanding people. This is one of my favorite folks in the world, you all. Give it up for Miss Gretchen Fuller. Give it up, Miss Gretchen Fuller.
Thank you again for coming out this afternoon. And if you haven't picked up on it yet, Mr. Menifee is a terrific, terrific person to get to know and work with. We're glad you're out tonight. This is our Business Enrichment Series. It's our second one of the year, and we're focusing on customer service tonight. And we would like to thank our panelists for coming out and taking out the time from their busy schedules to speak with us tonight about customer service. Our first panelist would be Bobby Powell. Bobby Powell was born in Grenada, Mississippi. She was named most courteous in her high school senior class, and we'll learn later why that's so important. She is the president of Golden Rule Customer Service, Inc. Although the principles of the Golden Rule were exercised in all of Bobby's relationships, the actual business name was birthed more than 10 years ago. Bobby moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan in 1973, where she started a career with Michigan Bell shortly after graduation. The most courteous title led to a successful career in customer service that spanned more than 33.5 years with Michigan Bell. Ms. Powell served in many, many capacities with the Bell companies. Director, Assistant Operator. She served also as Supervisor of Operating Services. She relocated from Ann Arbor, Michigan in 2008 and now resides in College Park with her husband Clarence of more than 34 years. She is the mother of Clarence Powell II, a proud mother-in-law of Tiffany, and grandmother of 3 wonderful grandsons, Jeremiah, Elijah, and Caleb. She has 1 goddaughter, Ashley Powell. Our second speaker for tonight is Ms. Ramona Taylor. Ramona Taylor is an entrepreneur, author, visionary, minister, trainer, career business coach, and inspirational speaker. Most of all, Ms. Taylor prides herself on honesty and integrity. Ramona has a Bachelor of Arts in Human Resource Administration and a Master in Science and Management. Ramona is the owner and president of Abundant Staffing Agency, LLC, providing staffing, employment readiness, and career skills training to corporations, community organizations, and religious affiliations. Ramona has coordinated career fairs and career workshops at local churches, disadvantaged communities, and at several U.S. military installations. Currently, Abundant Staffing Agency, LLC is providing technical, customer service, time management, employment, and career skills training within the disadvantaged communities in Virginia. Ramona is using her education and experience to successfully equip adults at the challenge level to return to workforce. Some of her clients have been, but not limited to, Newport News Redevelopment Housing Authority, City of Newport News, Commonwealth of Virginia, Sandy Springs Library, and a host of churches. She has written several employment readiness training manuals to better assist with the challenged individuals in learning the required materials. Ms. Taylor is currently an online professor at Hampton University, where she provides instruction for the following courses: Human Resource Management, Business Policy, and Introduction to Entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you this evening. Welcome Ms. Powell and Ms. Taylor. Thank you.
Thank you, Gretchen. Good evening, everyone. I would first like to, I don't see Ms. Leona Davenport, but my first thought would be to let her know that I've attended a few of the Atlanta Business League seminars, and each time that I attend one of these seminars, I always walk away feeling like, gosh, the Golden Rule customer service is just laying dormant. It's been in me for more than 10 years now, and I always walk away feeling like it has to be time for me to get started. And the very last seminar that I attended was at Pasco's, and at the end of Mr. Menifee's statement, I walked up and I told him, I said, a lot of what you're saying reminds me of the Golden Rule customer service, which I've not done anything with. And he said at that point, that is something I don't think we've ever had in the educational format through the Atlanta Business League. We're going to look into getting that done. So here I am today. So Mr. Menifee, I thank you for inviting me, and Gretchen as well. The other person that I'd like to thank this afternoon is Mary Parker, President CEO of All-in-One Security. I have the privilege of sitting side by side Ms. Parker every day at All-in-One, and she truly pours into me daily just by sitting by her, listening to her interact with the employees, listening to her interact with the customers. And the level of customer service that she displays at All-in-One Security clearly is a model that any company could follow. So as Gretchen said, I started my career with AT&T some 36, 37 years now because I retired in 2006. But one of the things that I realized during my employment at Michigan Bell, Ameritech, SBC, and then now is AT&T Michigan. But one of the things that I learned during my career is this thing called customer service. I really believe that we all are birthed to be kind to one another. So as I named the business, really it was a gift that was inspired in the midnight hours. But as that gift was inspired, I said, you know, the golden rule customer service is something really from childhood. As Gretchen indicated, some students are named most likely to succeed in high school. I was named most courteous in my high school senior year, but who would have ever thought that that would have ended in a career for more than 33 and a half years with the telephone company? I certainly did not link that until many years later. But one of the things that the golden rule has done for me throughout my career at AT&T truly was that of treating individuals the way I wanted to be treated. And through my years of promotions, one of the things that happened to me was that my skill was developed from within in terms of seeing how managers managed people compared to the way that I knew that I was designed to manage people or to lead people. And I just always took exception to some of the behaviors that managers interacted with their people, but yet expected exceptional customer service. How can you expect exceptional customer service when you don't treat your most valuable asset, your people, with dignity and respect? So to me, that is truly what the golden rule is. So with that having been said, I would like to now say that the golden rule embodies the law for mankind. And it simply is treat others the way you want to be treated. Customer service, what is it really? When you think about customer service, I don't know if you noticed the logo was a man's hand with a key in it. So basically what that is the customer service is really right at the fingertip. You hold that in the palm of your hand. And again, all of that is truly based upon how you treat your people. Everyone wants to be treated with dignity and respect. Customer service, again, is about treating others the way you would like to be treated, as well as the way an individual may want to be treated. Everyone may not want to be treated the same way as you want to be treated. And so as you know your customers, as you know their personalities, you may know that some of your customers don't need that warm and fuzzy feeling. And as a result of that, you then would interact with them accordingly. But every individual wants to feel valued. They want to feel respected. And in doing so, then your employees could lead to providing service that actually exceed the customer's expectation. And you can value and respect your employees, simply by a formal recognition program. You can show value and respect towards your employees simply by listening and being attentive to them. Isn't it rude? Don't you think that it's very rude to interact with a manager or even a peer for that matter, and they're not attentive? You feel as if they're disengaged, they're reading, or they're on the telephone? That does not show value or respect towards the individual. Then exceeding the customer's expectation. One of the models that we use around All-in-One is delivering on the promise. So what we do and say is we under-promise, but try to always over-deliver. Wouldn't it be wonderful to work in an environment where you have a workplace filled with people whose attitude is, I care, I can, and I will ensure that every customer that they interact with that their intention is to exceed, not meet, because meeting is everyone's expectation. But wouldn't you want to be in an environment where the employee's attitude is, yes, I can, and yes, I will exceed each and every customer's expectation? And in doing that, it only increases your bottom line. Because the more satisfied a customer is, guess what? You're going to end up with repeat business. Some of the basics in customer service is listening, hearing, and acknowledging. Let's just think about that for a moment. How many opportunities did you hear today, just today alone, to commend a desired behavior or to challenge an inappropriate behavior? There are so many times, as I remember, working for AT&T, just walking through an operator services division, you could always hear that voice with a smile. And in that environment, the customer couldn't see the operator. So it was incumbent upon that operator to always speak in such a manner that the customer actually heard the smile in the employee's voice. That goes an awful long way when it talks about satisfying your customer. So if you're not doing it already, listen for opportunities. Listen for opportunities to give on-the-spot recognition. Mary, I heard that. Ramona, I heard that. That sounded really good. I saw you as you were interacting with that customer, and your eye contact, your body language was so engaging that you actually made that customer feel as though he was the most valuable and the most important person to you at that moment. So that's what really listening, hearing, and acknowledging, those are opportunities that you have to make that employee feel exceptionally well about him or herself, and then really want to move forward in satisfying your customers. And in saying that, feedback is key, regardless to how excited an employee is when they join your organization. Absence of feedback can cause lack of consistency in performance. And that lack of consistency ultimately is going to impact the level of customer service that they provide, which then also could potentially impact, again, your bottom line. And the bottom line is something that you always want to be focused on, because you've made investments in your employees by training, developing, in some cases, uniforms, and those kind of things. So you want to make sure that you're doing everything that you possibly can to make your employees feel respected and valued. Employees must know what is expected of them and be held accountable after clear, reasonable, observable, and measurable expectations are set. So when it comes to customer service, do you have a customer service program in place? Do you have a measurement in place to actually measure and then hold employees accountable, as well as recognize, encourage, and develop upon the skills that they're already providing? Those are questions that you can answer for yourself, and if you don't, I can tell you again, based upon my experience at AT&T, if an employee did not know what was expected of them, they would do, sometimes they would do the very least that they thought, just enough to get by. And so in that, I quickly learned that the difference in excellence and mediocrity is truly the amount of effort that an employee puts forth. So if they don't know what's expected of them, why should they excel? Why should they put forth their very best effort? So that's something that you can do quickly in terms of improving your customer service if you don't have that in place already. First impressions. How do you view your customers when they walk into your office? Do you anticipate their need? Are you prepared to answer any unfulfilled promise? Do you know what their issues are before they even bring it to you? Do you have processes in place to know when there are things that have not been accomplished that should have been accomplished? And if you don't, again, that's an excellent tool that you can put in place as a process. Internal measurements that you can do. And one of the best things that I learned in my career was the Disney's philosophy. Disney's philosophy when it comes to their customers and their employees is this. Their employees are considered cast members, and their customers are considered guests. So do you treat your customers as though they are a guest? Do you welcome them into your presence, or are you afraid that you've not met a need? Or are you excited because you know that you have not only met but exceeded that customer's expectation? And then when it comes to the employees being cast members, going back to the expectations, do they know what's expected of them? Do they know how to exceed that customer's expectation? Do you have coaching, development plans in place? Do you have training plans in place to help your employees? Because as a manager, CEO, president, which I'm sure the bulk of you guys are, you should know what the need is of the customer before that customer knows what his or her need is. And that would be based upon the service or product that you provide. Because you always want to be in a position to expand upon the service or the product that you're currently offering your customer. And you do that by anticipation, knowing what their need is. And then the bottom line. A lot of behaviors may not be observable to the customer. For example, tardiness, absence, and attitude. Attitude most often, but you can mask the attitude. You can put on the face in front of the customer, but yet the moment the customer walks away or the manager walks away, the employee could stick it too. The carrot and stick is an approach that I learned about in college years ago. So that carrot and stick approach is, you may have gotten me this time, but I'm going to get you the next time. And it impacts your customer service. So you never want to have things in place or employee attitude problems that go unnoticed. Another thing that I learned during my career is you either influence the employee to change or change the employee, because change really does beget change. Because if you allow inappropriate performance behaviors to go unnoticed, unchallenged, it will ultimately impact your bottom line. And I know each of you are in the business to make money, to generate revenue. So the more morale, the more higher your morale is, the more people want to come to work. As I stated earlier, you want an environment that is, yes, I can, yes, I will, yes, I care. You want your people to feel that way. Because I tell you, the more they feel that way, the better they are going to perform for you. I'd like to share just one experience back in my AT&T day. I was promoted to area manager in year 2000. And my boss at that time said to me, Bobby, we're going to give you an office whose results are at the bottom, worse than any office has ever been before. Their accuracy percent was at an 88% compared to a 98% objective. The attendance objective at that time was a 10.2. This particular office attendance results were at an all-time high. They had an average of 37.2% absence in a 12-month period. A 12-month period. And my boss said, if anyone can go in there and change that, I know it can be you because of your motivation. You're just always so excited. You're always smiling. You're going to make people feel like they want to come to work. And within 9 months, that accuracy had changed from an 88% to 6 consecutive months of 100%. And it was all about inclusiveness, treating people with dignity and respect, listening to them, wanting to hear what they had to say. Why is it that you don't want to come to work? And again, your management style will ultimately impact the way your people feel about you as a leader. It will ultimately make your employees feel a certain way about your customers. They will mistreat your customer because sometimes they'll have the feeling that they won't get caught. And you don't want employees with a caught mentality. You want employees, if you're going to say caught, catch me doing it right. Catch me doing it in an exceptional level that I know that this customer is always going to want to choose Ms. Ramona's business, abundant staffing, for example, over any other competitor. And again, I just want to touch on the tardiness and the absence. That attendance improved. I improved it over 50% in about a 9-month period. It improved from a 37% to a 17%. And within a 4-year period, we were in single digits. I started out managing 2 call centers. And by the time I retired in '06, I was managing 4 call centers. And the results in all of those were at an all-time high. I believe Gretchen mentioned an excellence award. But at any rate, it all depended upon, again, getting into the mindset and changing the mindset of the people. The people are your most valuable asset. Because if they don't feel good about what they're doing, they are not going to service your customers in the very best manner that we all know that they are capable. Because we talk about being created and equipped to treat people the way we want to be treated. Again, competition. Don't ever underestimate the role that your employees play in creating competitors. And we've talked about the poor quality, the poor productivity, the poor attitude. And then repeat business, going back to I care, I can, and I will. You want people with an attitude that is going to yield repeat business, because each and every person in this room who has a job, we're all ultimately responsible for creating repeat business. And we should have the attitude, if it is to be, it's up to me. I want to add value. I want to be part of the success of the organization that I work for. Every time a customer comes into contact with any one of us, we have an opportunity to add value. And that can be simply by being consistently focused on the customer need. That is most essential. I love this quote by Vince Lombardi. The achievements of an organization are the results of the combined effort of each individual. Again, we all are ultimately responsible. When to practice excellence? Actually, every contact, we just said it, every time that we enter into a relationship with a customer, exercise patience, kindness, and a willingness to help. When you do that in the presence of adversity with either employees or customers, guess what? You have then exemplified excellence, which is also the golden rule. Because don't you want people to be patient and kind with you? Don't you want people to be willing to help you when you go into any business establishment? When the golden rule is activated, you have demonstrated behaviors such as being quick to listen, quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. When you do that, again, you've added value, not just to the customer, but also the employee. Because when you do that, you demonstrate compassion, you demonstrate understanding. Some of the services that we offer through the Golden Rule customer service is evaluating what your current level of service is. We can come out and we can conduct training sessions, customer service training sessions. And we can also train the trainer, people that you may select, for example, to do customer service training in your centers. We can do that for you. And again, it is truly my belief that we are all created to share the golden rule by carrying it around within us, in our heart, every day. Thank you for this opportunity.
Well, while she's coming to get this set up, good afternoon, everyone. Y'all look kind of full out there. Don't look so gloom. Smile. How are you today? Okay. We're here for customer service. Let's try this again. How are you today?
Fine.
All right. Okay. Well, my name name is Ramona Taylor, and I'd like to first thank Mr. Menifee, Gretchen Fuller, and Trina Taylor for extending the invitation to me. You heard my long bio, so I'm not going to go back into all of that, bore you to death. But I'm here to speak to you on excellent e-customer service. And I guess you're probably saying, okay, what is e-customer service? Well, let me do some audience participation out here. Who can tell me what they think e-customer service is? Say it again. Electronic. What is electronic customer service? Can't hear you. Anybody else have a clue? Okay. Believe it or not, have you all heard of the digital phone system? VoIP? Voice over internet is electronic customer service. Okay? That's e-customer service. So let's get started here. Okay, Ms. Bobby already told us what customer service is, but I like to tell you that customer service is the backbone of every company. Good customer service extends longevity within a company, and how many of you know you get what you pay for? Poor customer service equals what? Poor business or no business at all. Now, I have to stop right here because I am an audience participation type of person. So we have to participate, we have to talk, okay? All right, now we back to business. Okay. Poor customer service equals poor business, no business, poor working relationships, poor evaluations, and poor salaries. You ever apply for a job and the job pays you half of what you could be making somewhere else? And you go out and you talk to the people who are working with the company and they look gloom, they look like they're tired and disgusted. How many of you ever been to one of those sites before? You have? And you go back and you say, well, why do they look like that? This company should be making X amount of dollars, but the truth of the matter is poor customer service. I have to go back to one of my favorite scriptures, said, do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. And that's where I derived my customer service training from. If I treat you bad, you're going to treat your customers bad, okay? I think Ms. Powell already said that, right? Okay. So what is e-customer service? It's customer service provided via internet, through emails, and websites. The same face-to-face customer service that you're to give to your clients and customers, you have to give it online also, okay? And some of you may say, well, I'm only speaking to them via email. Well, let's talk about that. Y'all too quiet. Y'all too quiet. So is e-customer service important? Okay. Sometimes your customers will never see you. They will be your biggest customers, but they'll never see you or talk to you for that matter. So your customer service verbiage must be your best product, right? Hello? Yes. Thank you. Okay. So you may say, well, still I don't understand why e-customer service is important. you know, when you get arrested, I've never been arrested now, by the way, but when the cops say to you, what you say, when they read your Miranda rights, what you say can be held or used against you, used or held against you. You see, I've never been arrested, right? Okay. Truthfully, customer service can be used against you. It can hurt you. And you say, how? You can lose your clients and your customers, and you may be limited, and with some in the business world called blackball, where you can't gain any more clients, or you may gain the ones that nobody wants. Okay? Y'all not talking to me out here. So let's talk about an email. Have you ever gotten an email where you look at it 3 or 4 times before you figure out what it's saying to you? You could take it one way or the other way, and most of the times we take it the worst way. Why is that? If you had a bad day when you left the house this morning, you frustrated, you mad, then you waste your coffee in the car, and your boss come in and say, well, I didn't get that email that you were supposed to send me yesterday before you left. And you send him an email with all these capital letters, and you really saying in your mind, you getting on my nerve, it's coming across on your email. You believe me? I know we all have gotten one of those emails, right? See, guilty. Okay. And then you get those misspelled words. And you may say, why am I getting misspelled words when we got spell check? I ain't feel like spell checking. That was another step. I'm tired, I'm frustrated. The kids got this, and you're bringing too much stuff to work with you, okay? So, is that email professional? No, it's not. It's not at all. Let me just say this to you, and this is a true email. A young lady sent an email to a company. She was placing a $300,000 order online, and she needed to fax over her PO. So she emailed the contact person. Well, it was a blank contact. Y'all ever had a contact that says info at or customer service at and no name? Well, she emailed this company and said, what is your fax number? I'm trying to fax over my PO. The person sends back the email from the customer service email address and says, fax number, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's it. No name, no phone number, no nothing. Okay? Me, myself, I think I would have paid a little bit more to go somewhere else. The correct way should have been, hello, Mr. Smith. Thank you for inquiring about our products. I truly apologize for the incorrect fax number that was listed on our website or not listed. Please fax your order form to blah, 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 blah. Attention, Ramona. Again, I apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused you. Should you need further assistance, please do not hesitate to contact me at the number listed below. Now, what does that say to you as a buyer? Right. So how many of you would apologize for a wrong that's maybe not something you've done, but is your company? How many of you would apologize for that? Good, good, good. Okay, we're moving somewhere. Okay.
Ownership.
That's right. That's right. So I want to say to you, take the time to read your client or your customer's complaint, or they just may have a question. Okay? So, when we say what not to write, all of us have our moment where we talk. We have a professional talk, and we have a friend talk. Now, who does not have a friend talk out here? Which that means friend dialogue, where you say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Stuff like that. Y'all don't have that? Am I in the wrong place? What's going on here? If I know you, we're friends. I'm gonna talk to Miss Fuller because she looked like she wanna listen. If you and I are friends, it's okay. But we're doing business. And would you send me an email to say, hey girl, how you doing? Just wanted to check the status of my order. Why would you not do that? Thank you. Right. And should it be on your email, your business email? Right. So what happens if I decide to take you to court for something and you need to pull those emails? Do I need to say anything else? Okay. So, quality equals professionalism. Take a little time to get your thoughts together. Sometimes you may have to go back to another person and say, read this, tell me what you think. Okay? It's no harm in doing that. That's right. If you're upset, walk away. Do not look at that email because it's going to pull you and say, send it, send it, send it. Don't do it, okay? Okay, let's talk about your website. Forgive me, I'm used to walking and talking at the same time, so I'm trying to keep still. Does your website make or break you? What's on your website? Anybody know? Okay. Right. If you put up your website and you've not let anybody else proofread your website, it can be a disaster. Maybe only you know what you can do, okay? But you're trying to sell to everybody out here. So, I ask a question, does your website make your potential clients frustrated? When I say frustrated, I mean I can't find anything on here. There is no help button. I can't find a phone number. I can't find an email address. Who are these people? When it says about us, it just tells me about your products. It doesn't tell me who you are, where you came from, or what's your credibility. That's frustrating. Anybody ever witnessed that? So how does that show the professionalism of your company? And that makes your customer service credibility go where? Down. All right. Okay. Thank you. The bottom line. That's right. It does affect your bottom line. So going to the bottom line, is this ROI going to pay off? Mm-mm. Chat rooms. I know everybody has experienced this. I know I'm busy, and a lot of times we call those 800 numbers. You can't understand what they're saying. You don't want to be bothered, so you use the chat room. They say they have a representative available, and you're waiting forever. Then when the representative come on, now I know y'all had this. It's an automated service. And you're saying, I'm having problems with my telephone. And the system comes back in, how may I help you? And you say, my phone is broke. And it says, how may I help you? And you say, my phone don't work. How may I help you? Okay. Am I the only one who experienced that before? Now, what did you think of that company after you got off that chat? Say that again. Right. So, although that may be a cheap way to have a service provided, but is it the best way? Is it the most efficient way? I would rather have a chat service at a certain time versus 24-hour chat service is not a chat, okay? So, then what happens when you get on the phone, on the chat, and I have to say I've experienced this, and you're chatting with the representative and they don't know the product. And you say, well, it says to do this, that, and the other, but it's not working. And they say, well, hold on, and the time just keep ticking and ticking and ticking. They come back. You need to call in, basically, because I have no clue. So, why aren't your people equipped? Right there, you've made me mad. I spend my money on this product. You offer me all of these services to help me, and I don't have the assistance. So, is it a valuable tool to have? Would you use it again? No. Would you recommend it? No. So now your product that's been announced top notch is now moving down some notches, right? Okay. Social network. This is my love right here. Everybody has a Facebook account in here, right? How many people don't have a Facebook account? Okay. And I take it those who do have a Facebook account, what do you do with your Facebook account? Nothing? You advertise? See? Gossip. Gossip? How many of you are business owners? Just about everybody in here? And you have a Facebook account. I have one too. But do you know who you connected to? And I have some people who say, I want to get the 5,000 mark. Do you know 5,000 people? Do you know who they know? Do you know what they say can be used or held against you? Okay? Customer service is very important. It's just like Big Brother. Somebody's always watching you. Always watching you. Foul language and abusive tone. Somebody getting on your nerve and they hit you on Facebook or they poke you and why you first thing, and you on the news doing a briefing, you got this big time contract, and then somebody start putting comments in on AJC saying, oh no, he was on Facebook cussing somebody out. You think them comments don't hurt? They will. They will. LinkedIn. How many of you have a LinkedIn account? Okay. Personal information should what? Why? And anything you say or do can be held against you, okay? It does not need to be on that site, okay? I got to move along, my time running out. Okay, body language. Believe it or not, on the telephone, you can tell when somebody having a bad day. You can tell when they're making faces on the phone because the whole demeanor changed. And the body gestures with the hands on the hip, you know, they got the phone on it. Ma'am, oh, look, I can't help you. You can tell all of that comes through. Now, this is what I want you all to understand. The transfer of energy. You know what that is? Ms. Powell comes up to me and she says, well, she called me and said, I'm just calling to check the status of my resume. Ma'am, we don't have any information on your resume right now. And she's already torn apart. She's already hurt. She's out of a job. She needs a job. And sister girl on the phone saying, man, we just can't help you in a nasty way. How do you think Ms. Powell feel when she hang up the phone? And that's called what? That person, that negative person with the poor customer service just transferred her energy to Ms. Powell. Now, I'm her friend, I'm her support system, and I'm calling her to say, hey, how you doing? What can I do to help you? You know, what are you doing today? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear it. So now I'm getting my head bitten off because of somebody she didn't even know who answered the phone, transferred that negative energy to her. Okay? Is this good stuff? Y'all hear? You got me? Okay. So, what does your body language say about you? We talk about face-to-face. Ms. Powell touched on some of that. In the office setting, networking, business meetings, personal time. But I want to address your attire. When you dressed in a suit, you look nice, you feel good about yourself. Well, not necessarily a suit, but you just feel good about yourself if you dress nice. But when you come in and you got the party attire on, your whole demeanor has changed. So when the phone rings, something is wrong. You got the party attitude on the phone. Good afternoon. How you doing? You know, you're like, okay, what did you have? Versus, good afternoon, you've reached Abundant Staffing Agency. This is Thomas speaking. How may I help you? You feel me there? You got me there? Okay. All right, I'm moving along. Let's talk about the telephone. Have you ever called somewhere and somebody answered the phone and they just say, let's just go with ABL. They just say ABL. And you say, what? ABL. Excuse me? ABL. I'm sorry, I must have the wrong number, but what does ABL stand for? You had the wrong number, ma'am, and just hang up the phone. Have you all ever witnessed a time when you call somebody and you have no clue who you're talking to? Okay. First thing you need to do when you answer that phone is the identity process. That is your greeting. Hello. Your company name. If there are multiple divisions, you need to address that division because I could be in the wrong place. Your name, because I might want to call your supervisor and tell him on you, okay? And then the $1 million question that people do not ask is what? Wow, just something so simple. That could have been a $10,000 call right there. And we just say, ABL, okay? So those who have people who work under you, you might want to call in from another number sometimes, and I hope I'm not telling on anybody. Just check and see how they answer your phone, okay? I used to do it. Texting. Whew. Let me just say this to you. I had a company, a client, and they texted me one day. And I looked at the phone, I said, are you serious? So I called. And she said, well, I was in a meeting, so I had to text you. I said, no, you didn't. I don't do text. Absolutely not. One is worse than email, especially when there's a problem, because it's not personal for one. There's a limited amount of words. And I don't know about you, but I don't know that texting lingo. I had to go through 3 people to find out what SMH stood for. And then when I found out what LOL meant, I was like, wow. I was like, what is LOL? What is all this? Let's be real now. Let's be professional. Everything is not for the business, okay? So good customer service is not doing what? All right. Okay. Now, if you would like to become more effective, I need you to ask these questions. What steps will I personally take to enhance my professional growth? How will I assist my colleagues or employees to make certain my company offers top-notch service? That's very important. Now, I would like for you all to do something for me real quick. I would like for you to answer this question. When was the last time you had a customer service training class? Oh, okay. Now I need you to do something else for me. I need you to close your eyes. I'm not going to steal your purse now, but just close your eyes. And I want you to think of a time when you were treated rudely as a customer or an employee. Now replace that rude person as the representative of your company or you. Open your eyes. Now, how do you feel? You feel better? Okay, that's one way of looking at it. But the other way, the effect of it is, how would you feel if that was your company treating somebody that way, the way that you were treated? It wouldn't feel good, would it? So, now do you need a customer service training session? I don't believe y'all sitting here with your heads down and your hands like this. I'm not going to sell you nothing. I'm just going to tell you something, okay? But anyway, if you feel you need customer service training or anything, I do have a seminar coming up. Feel free to see me afterwards. And there is a discount for those who attended today. Now, some of the services I offer on the training side of Abundant Staffing is customer service consulting and training for small businesses and the individuals seeking promotion, time management and organization training, as well as I do not-for-profit human resources consulting. And the good thing about all of my training is it's online and on-site. Thank you, and one of my sayings is, you are in control of your destiny, so it's up to you to make that change. Okay? Thank you.
Let's give them another round of applause, please. I would like to thank Ms. Powell and Ms. Taylor for taking out time to come out, and I would personally like to thank them because they made such a good team. These two ladies had never met before today, but you would never know it. So I would like to thank them for their cohesiveness and putting on such a great seminar today, especially starting with the basics with Ms. Powell. And I liked how she tied in how customer service flows over into your employees. We often forget about how customer service impacts our employees because they are the face. So depending on how they feel when they come in and when they leave your place of business, you're not sure who they had contact with by the end of the day because you're not doing that. And I like how Ms. Taylor tied in. We often forget about, we're so wrapped up in social media today, we're forgetting about how it's impacting our businesses. And she'd already answered my questions. One of the questions I had written down is, what do you feel about people texting back and forth their clients? And I have a colleague, she and I developed a relationship through a client. And so she and I have gotten to be friends. We mentor one another in our businesses. And she called me one day and she said, well, what do I do? She said, my client's texting me this. I said, first of all, you don't respond. So it's not that urgent to respond to your clients through texting. One, because there's no record that you responded. It can often come back that, they say, well, you didn't answer me. Well, I text you. There's no record of it. And if there is one, where do you know where it is? You always want to document how you are responding to your clients. And nothing is that urgent that it can't be in a voicemail or responded through an email, so that protects you and your company and how you're serving your clients. So again, I would like to thank these ladies for their time, and I would like to open up the floor for some questions. Yes. Do we have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Work from home, do you have any extra tips to offer to help those of us at home to make sure that we're still coming off professionally to our customers?
Well, I think what you just ended with is the professionalism. Act as if you're going into the workplace. Because you're servicing the same clients, whether you're meeting with them face to face, and the voice quality that Ramona talked about earlier, you still want to treat them at the same high level of quality that you would from home, as if you were face to face with them.
One thing I would say,
Great question. Any other questions?
I think one of the other points to working at home is to make sure that you've established work hours. Because one of the other things is that when you work from home, you may do some of the things that he just suggested, and that is to, attend to the children, attend to the dog. But if you have designated work hours, then again, you should manage your home business the same as you would if you were in your office.
Ms. Parker?
In the Metro Atlanta area. As a result of that, we decided when we brought Bobby on with the number of years of experience she had, there was a big component missing, and that was customer service. Now, our employees did okay. They held their own. But since Bobby has come in, we've incorporated a monthly customer service training where all the employees will come in and get some additional training. It is really, really amazing. Something I always wanted to do was create a testimonial booklet. Since we've added our customer service training, 2 months in a row, our employees received Employee of the Month from Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. And some of the other letters we're getting is just remarkable. And everyone on our team now is a star. Why? Because they understand what's expected of them, and they're delivering that service far above what our customers would ever expect. And I'm not trying to get rid of my customer service trainer, but I'm telling you, if you're not including customer service as a part of your business model, you're missing the boat. You're missing the boat. So I encourage, if you're not doing it, as of today, now you know. Those are some of the things that will increase your bottom line. And the thing you want is that referral, repeated business. That's work you don't even have to look for. Just wanted to put that in.
I had one additional question that often may come up with small businesses, whether they're one-man shops or 1 to 5. What suggestions do you provide when people feel, we always say overserve your customer. What if it costs that business a little more money in order to do that? Would you still suggest that they do that?
if it costs them a little more,
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest it because in the long run, it'll pay off plus.
Absolutely.
So invest that's the best thing you can do for your company is invest. Customer service is an investment. So it is wise to invest in your company, whether you're a one-man shop or multiple people. Invest, because you are your best investment, and customer service is a quality component that you need to have.
And I think the other piece to that is developing relationships. When you know that you don't have an issue with spending the extra, just imagine that relationship that you've just developed with that customer. And as you develop that relationship with that customer, there goes the repeat business that Mary spoke about. The referrals. Those then become things that you don't even have to work for, because your clients then become your spokesperson. You don't even have to advertise in some instances, because your customers can become your best advertisement.
Any other questions? Well, again, let's please give these ladies a big round of applause.
Thank you.
I would like to thank everyone for battling the traffic to get out here this evening. We put these seminars on because we want you to get something out of them. How many of us have attended seminars and we sat for hours and we're like, wow, why did I waste my time? So we have surveys. As we were talking about customer service, we always want to make sure that we're providing what you need in the way of education for your business. So if you'll please complete that survey before you leave tonight, we'd really appreciate it. Again, I'd like to thank Mr. Menifee. He's our chairperson of the Education Committee, all the other Education Committee members. Obviously, the office staff is a tremendous staff. You would never know that there are less than 5 people running this organization. Ms. Davenport and her staff do a tremendous job. So we want to thank them. Again, we thank you for coming out tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next month. We will have another seminar. We will send out more email blasts about it. Next month, we'll be doing marketing. And we will have our very own Ms. Charmaine Ward, who's on our board and does a terrific job. So you don't want to miss marketing, which is a terrific follow-up to customer service. So if there are no more questions, Mr. Nicholas or Mr. Menifee, do you have any comments to make?
Good evening. As she said, my name is Nicholas Goins, and I'm the program coordinator for the Atlanta Business League. And I bring you greetings on behalf of our president and CEO, Ms. Leona Davenport, who unfortunately had an emergency and couldn't make it here today. Again, we would like to thank our panelists, Ms. Powell and Ms. Taylor, for your example of what customer service should be and how we should initiate into our businesses. We thank you so much for that. A couple of tips that we would like to let everyone know, to just inform you. Next month, like she said, we have our Business Power Forum coming up on the 21st of next month, as well as on the 28th, we'll be back here with our partner, Atlanta Technical College, for that Business Enrichment Seminar Series. Also, on October 5th, we just want to let you guys know, we are having our 26th annual Super Tuesday. And we would love for all of you to show up and come out and enjoy that one day, where our theme is One Great Day, Building, Connecting, and Investing. And we want to, again, thank you all for coming out. And we thank you for coming out and taking out your time. So please grab some food before you go. And again, thank you, everyone.